Now, a heat press, it can get a bad rap. And historically, it was clunky, heavy, expensive, and associated with those cheap quality prints. But on this channel, what we're here to tell you is that you have to sell it before you scale it. And in this video, we're not only going to teach you how to make designs with a heat press, we're going to show you how you should be thinking about doing production runs to make it profitably in order to put some money in your pocket. And then once you actually gain some traction, we're going to share some strategies on scaling up with little to no risk. Because in reality, guys, most new brand owners, what they end up doing is they spend about $2,500 on that first production drop. They think that it's going to be the thing that's going to make them money. They focus on streamlining and making things profitably before they even start selling anything to customers. And that's the reason why most brands fail within 90 days. So in this video, we're going to be diving into 3 key reasons why you should consider using a heat press to not only start, but to help you grow your brand with little investment up front. And the very first reason is the speed to market and ability to prove demand. Now, when you outsource production to a print shop, on average, you're going to be waiting about 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even over a month to get anything back. And if you're looking for samples, you're going to be spending about $50 to $100 per design. This means that your speed and ability to actually put out an idea and get it in front of a customer is definitely delayed. And it also discourages you as a brand owner from continuing, because you have to constantly go back and forth with little details. By the time you get a product and you're actually able to start sharing it on social media, you're kind of over that design and idea. So by using a heat press, you're able to bring designs a lot quicker to market. Sometimes you can get designs within hours if you're designing on Photoshop or Procreate. And if you're using a cutter, you can literally sample the designs the same day. Now, if you're ordering supplies from an outside supplier, then you could get supplies within 3 to 4 days, which means your finished product is available within 7 days. This allows you to bring new ideas to the market, really start getting your customers excited about what you're working on. And this leads us into the next reason, which is the ability to stay on trend. The ability to stay on trend is something that you really need to have at the forefront. Now, traditionally, in order to be on trend, you have to really be doing your research ahead of time. If you're working with a supplier that's going to take a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months to get something to you, it's going to be vital that by the time you drop and bring that product to market, it's not out of trend or out of style, because now it just seems like you're behind. But with the heat press, it gives you the ability to stay on trend. Like, for example, Fear of God just launched their new Essentials collection. And in this collection, they used a rubber material for the actual print. Now, this rubber material is available at print shops, but they're going to have a minimum order quantity of 144 units. This is where that $2,500 budget comes into play. And then you got to wait a few weeks to get it out. And then hopefully that design is in demand enough for your customers to want to buy it. But if you're doing it with a heat press, you can get the same effects and that same design out within a few days. By using something called brick maker paper, which is a vinyl that actually raises, it allows you to create a similar effect to what the Fear of God line just did. More about how you can leverage this and start making money in a few minutes. But right now I want to jump into reason number 3, and that is a low upfront investment. Now, heat presses start anywhere from $200 if you're shopping on Amazon, but if you want something that's going to allow you to do a production, then you're really looking in the ranges of $700 to about $1,500. Now, between $700 and $1,500, there are some key differences. The $700 presses a lot of times don't have an auto open feature. And this auto open feature may save anywhere between 10, 15 seconds, so you don't have to be spending time opening on those productions. And while 10 or 15 seconds doesn't seem like a big deal when you're just doing one design, it makes a big difference when you're doing 50 products in a day. It literally saves you 12 to 15 minutes every time you produce about 50 shirts. But regardless of which equipment you end up spending money on, you're still spending less than what a print shop would end up charging you for your first production run. So if you're taking the route of making products yourself, you've officially been indoctrinated as a Streetcrafter. And Streetcrafters aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and start building a brand and business from the ground up. Starting as a Streetcrafter gives you the ability to make money on every order, bringing that money into your pocket, which gets you closer to replacing your 9 to 5. But let's remember, this method is to help you sell it before you scale it. And this allows you to put money into your pocket so it can grow your business. But there is going to be a point where you have to scale it and move away from doing this heat press all on your own in your garage or in your bedroom. So now you may be wondering, when do I make that decision and what choices do I have? So I want to dive into the 2 most popular methods that you can use in order to help you scale your business. And we're also going to be sharing how to reduce the risk in doing so. One of the most popular methods is in outsourcing and buying things in bulk. What this means is things like printing, screen printing, maybe doing some sublimation, cut and sew, maybe ordering everything in bulk and stocking it, or stocking it at a different facility, but everything's already made. But when you outsource in bulk, they're going to be asking you for quantities, sizes, colors, designs, a lot of information up front, which is why it's important that you start with the Streetcrafter way, which gives you the ability to really gauge, okay, most of my audience is buying up all the smalls, which was surprising to me because I thought they were all going to buy the mediums. You're going to be able to gauge a lot of these numbers that print shops are going to ask you for. And once you know that you're able to hit those minimum quantities with a shop, that's when you can start sourcing things out to them. But you don't want to do this right out the gate because you have no idea what people are going to buy or what sizes you should order in, which means you're going to be running out of stock as you start selling. But by you taking the approach first of actually, selling it before you scale it, you're going to have a lot of this information already dialed in. And then you also are going to know, hey, I'm confident that I could sell 24 shirts on this next collection, or I'm confident I could sell 72, or I for sure can sell 144 and drop my overall cost of goods and really keep my profit margins pretty similar to when I was doing it at home. You have a better sense of what to expect, and this allows you to reduce any risk with carrying inventory. Because like I mentioned before, carrying inventory is the biggest risk to any apparel business. If it doesn't sell, that means that you have money sitting on the shelf. So in order to determine that you're ready to outsource in bulk, just make sure you can hit the minimums. And in order to do this, you also have to start a conversation with some of these print shops. The best relationships you can make starting out the gate is going to be relationships with print shops that are in your area. Those local print shops, take a day to just drive around, Google a couple, ask friends and family if they know any, head on over to their shop, introduce yourself as you're starting out your brand, and as you have some samples, bring something to the table. Let them know, hey, I'm starting up my brand. This is some of the stuff I do. Here's my social media. Here's my audience. Just want to introduce myself to you so you know, hey, I might be coming to you for a production run. What are your lead times? What type of deals can I get on samples? You want to be able to have this relationship started because you don't want to just be an order in their queue. When you're just an order, a random customer coming in, they're not going to give you any special treatment. But if you bring them along the journey with you, they're going to be a little bit more invested in helping you out. This means that they might be giving you free samples, or they might be reducing your minimum order quantity because they see you're putting in the work. And everybody wants to champion a success story, so always keep that in mind. Head on over to the shops, personally introduce yourself and your brand, and what better way to do that than by having samples that you made the Streetcrafter method that cost you very little, and now people are opening their door in time to you. This leads us into the second method, which is print on demand. And through the print on demand method, it reduces your risk of having to carry any inventory. And what this means is that you're essentially the designer and marketer of a brand. If you're really good at doing this and you don't want to handle any of the logistical problems, then sourcing it through print on demand may be a pretty good model for you to scale. Now, you will be eating into some of your profit margins, but it'll allow you to focus your time on driving traffic to the site and getting sales. And this will allow you to bring some money in your pocket without you having to worry about making everything on your own. Now, technically, there is a third method, and that's in just opening up your own print shop, but I highly don't suggest this if you're not ready to really deal with the nitty-gritty, or if you have a team that's going to be able to support this. Now, the reason why opening up your own print shop is not preferred is because there's a lot of details that happen on the back end, from ordering supplies to keeping inventory to managing payroll to doing the business logistics. All the business admin stuff that happens behind the scene are things that people don't talk about. Yes, the margins are a lot better and you can make a lot of money doing this, but if you don't have the right team in place, you could dilute your efforts and put yourself in a position where you don't enjoy what you're doing anymore. So in order to decide on what method would work best for you in order to scale, you have to take a moment to really reflect on who you are as an individual. What this means is, as an entrepreneur, you have to play to your strengths and you have to outsource your weaknesses. So if you know that you're a great designer and marketer, play on that strength. But that means that you got to bring people into the fold that are good with sales, customer service, the printing. And this could mean that you either have to hire freelancers to handle more of the sales and customer service, and this could mean that you outsource the production to a print shop. But in order for you to start scaling, you need to be able to take that first step. And that first step means you got to start making things. You got to start building the foundation for your brand and business. You got to go out there and market and create an audience. And then you got to go out there and design something that they want to buy. By proving these things out, you're that much more confident in being able to invest in anything long-term, and you're able to focus on the automation and the scaling of a business. But a lot of times people are so focused on that 10 step that they just forget that one step in front of them. And that's in just simply taking action. And if you're wondering where can you get the supplies that you need to start printing from home and taking this next step, we created Streetcrafter.com to help you cut out the middleman and start putting money in your pocket. You can quickly and easily upload full color designs and graphics and get your press art sheets that you could just cut out and press at home. And once you're ready to start doing production runs, you can order more of that bulk sheet to help you save on quantities. And if you're looking to create specialty prints, we also got maker paper that gives you that same effect that the Fear of God Essentials hoodie line is doing right now. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in learning how to make a luxury sweater, check out this video right here.